If you want to build great leaders within your organization, another good principle is to recognize the potential in those folks that work for you and then help them achieve it. So, for the past 20 years, the Leaders Institute instructors have helped people gain confidence in becoming effective leaders by basically pointing out strengths in our class members that they may not have even recognized in themselves. In fact, psychologist William James, over 100 years ago now, he once said that in a person's lifetime, he will only tap into about 10% of his potential. And we call this untapped potential. We call it our blind spots. So our job as leaders, your job as a leader, is to help minimize the blind spots in the people that work for you. So when we recognize potential in others, we need to encourage them to tap into that potential. For instance, when I was in college, I had a part-time job facilitating after school care for kids. And I noticed that when I scolded or punished the kids, they just tested me even more. They fought against me. By the way, this was my first real position of authority. I mean, this is the first time I was ever leading anything, and it was a bunch of fourth graders, right? And the kids were kind of showing me that they were really in charge. And I had to think fast, so I pulled one of the boys aside and asked him if he wanted to be my sheriff. And I told him that if he wanted to be an authority, that he had to help me by setting the example. And it worked like a charm. Once he was on my side, the other kids that were in the group began to work with me rather than against me. They wanted to be, the deputy sheriffs and that kind of thing. And as the year went on, by the way, those the problem kids, the ones that were the toughest on me in the beginning, they became some of the most responsible in the whole group. And the process works pretty well with adults too. I mean, my website, by the way, is full of testimonials from managers who came into their own shortly after getting their first big promotion. And all of them, really all they really needed was somebody to believe in them, get that first big promotion, and then they just take it and run with it. So don't discount people just because they have a few rough edges. Instead, look for strengths that they have and then help them grow even more in those areas. People will tend to live up to the expectations that others set for them. So set your standards high and encourage others to reach them. And if you do that, you're going to build a fantastic group of leaders within your organization.